I'm trying. We went back to the M.
Give me a tip. Oh, with his glasses. So we want to get the teachers. Mr. Pennell, good morning and goodbye.
Oh, I planned on going to Jessica. We can play soccer outside on the kickboard. You want to come on? Sure.
As the Massena High School pep band plays our alma mater, Northern Star. Massena Central, please rise.
Years ago, in 1992, John Zwackerroad graduated from Massena Central High School. And today, we're at the Massena Arena, where I graduated in 1992, to film and document the Massena Central High School graduates of 2017. In the 10 years that John Zwackerroad has existed on YouTube, we've never filmed a high school graduation.
Thank you for your service. We have Marissa Blue, Air Force. Spencer Coulter, Army. Jacob Mathis, Marines. And Logan McGee, Army National Guard. And they are going to start our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll sing the national anthem and followed immediately by the alma mater. Please stand. Stay standing.
With
students as they receive their diploma. At this time, Mrs. Rebecca Violi will now introduce Abigail Hellman, the class of 2017 Salutatorian.
Today is a very special occasion. It is a time to celebrate and applaud all of the seniors graduating from Massena Central High School. I feel honored to be speaking to you today, especially in the company of Abby, Ashna, and Mrs. Normile. I like to joke that we're like the Spice Girls, except we're a band made up of nerdy girls, only some of whom can sing, and who like to talk about math. All kidding aside, it is an honor to be sharing in this moment with you. As I look out at your faces, I see so many wonderful individuals. For those of you whom I have had in class, I consider it a privilege to have shared in this journey. And I, along with all of your fellow teachers, would like to thank you for all of your hard work and dedication over the past 12 years. I ask that you try to make choices that will allow you to look in the mirror at the end of the day and not feel regret. Remember to cultivate and care for all of which makes you who you are, inside and out. Have a light heart, a sense of humor, and dance like no one is watching. Life is going to present obstacles at every turn. Oftentimes, laughter, a good friend, and chocolate are the best tools to get you through hard times. My one request is that you promise to unplug once in a while. Sit in a quiet place and just be. Don't forget how perfectly silent a snowy winter night can be. Take time to walk through the leaves on a windy fall day, and please don't miss out on the opportunity to hear your own voice and the beating of your heart. Now, those of you who know me must know that I would find a way to work math into this speech. Abby, this next quote is for you. Sir Isaac Newton, the English mathematician and philosopher, gave us some natural laws of physics which apply as much to human beings as they do the movement of the bodies in the universe. And one of these laws is that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. The result of your efforts in life will be in direct proportion to the effort you put forth. Our salutatorian, Abigail Hellman, clearly understands this. Abby is the daughter of Bob and Mary Hellman. I knew of Abby before I met her. She is somewhat of a legend in the halls of Trinity Catholic School due to her dedication and focus to her studies, even as a young girl. Her name is used as a standard of excellence to this day at the elementary school she attended, not only for her academic success, but also for her commitment to being a positive influence on those around her. I am not sure if Abby truly understands how impactful her leadership has been on others. Abby is deeply committed to family values and is a young woman with strong moral character. She has volunteered countless hours as an altar server, worked as a counselor for Teen Vision at Camp Guggenheim, and served as a Bible school leader. Clearly, she understood at a young age the great responsibility of being a role model to the youth of our community. Abby continued to be a leader at MCHS as a member of the Link Group program. Abby is a perfect combination of strength and grace. When talking to a colleague about introducing her, we just kept coming back to the words fearless and fierce. Who knew that a little girl from elementary school would be such an incredible force in the classroom, in the pool, on the ice, and on stage? She is a member of National Honor Society and is treasurer of Spanish National Honor Society. She received the Physics Award and was selected Massena's representative for the American Legion Auxiliary Empire Girls State. Abby is one of the most efficient, accurate, and confident math students that I've had the pleasure to teach. During the first pre-calculus exam, Abby was finished with about 15 minutes to spare. This always makes me nervous. I gave her my best teacher look, and she just shrugged her shoulders. I was prepared to give my usual speech about how this is a harder course, there's a learning curve at this level, blah, blah, blah. But to my surprise, Abby had written a nearly perfect, if not perfect, paper. What a little stinker. This continued test after test. From that point on, I just stepped aside and watched her crush the curriculum without even batting an eyelash. When I asked Mr. Debut if he had anything to add, he said, Abby is good at everything except calculus. We both know he's just jealous. I envy you for your ability to attack learning with confidence and decisiveness. Abby has been an integral part of the MCS swim team for 4 years. This year, she served as team captain and currently holds the school record in the breaststroke, was named Section 10 champion for her efforts, and has competed at states. Fierce Abby comes out as soon as her swim cap and goggles are in place. I feel sorry for the unsuspecting girls on the adjacent blocks. Because of her work ethic and sportsmanship, Abby has been named First Team All-Northern and received the Lisa Lane Award. On the ice, Abby has the grace and poise of a beautiful dancer. She has qualified and medaled in the State Games of America in figure skating. She is as dynamic as she is diverse in her athletic ability. I have had several opportunities to also see the silly and quirky side of Abby that not everyone may know about. Many people know that Abby is an accomplished musician. She is the first chair in orchestra and has been studying violin and piano for many years. About a week ago, I attended a piano recital where Abby performed beautifully on both the violin and piano. However, from where I was sitting, I could see the priceless expressions on her face as she hesitantly placed her hands on the piano keys and braced for impact. A crinkled brow and almost a grimace before she played the notes was replaced by a grin and obvious relief when the notes were correct. I love the fact that she never takes herself too seriously. Most would expect a student of Abby's caliber could do anything but bake and frost a 2-layer cake. I found it comical when I saw she and James at Price Chopper picking up a second cake mix because her first attempt was an epic failure. An author by the name of Dorothy Brand wrote a book entitled Wake Up and Live. Her entire philosophy can be captured in the quote, act as if it is impossible to fail. Abigail Hellman has done just that. As a full diploma student in the International Baccalaureate program, Abby elected to take 2 years of the most demanding coursework we have to offer. Failure has never been a consideration for her. She has been fearless and fierce in her approach to learning in every subject area. She has conducted herself with grace and a sense of humor. As a result of her intrinsic drive and intellect, Abby has earned an overall grade point average of 97.65. She plans to pursue a major in mathematics at Nazareth College in the fall with hopes of becoming an actuary. And she has been taken on by the swimming and diving team. I have no doubt that the little girl from Trinity School, with a book in her hand and a time turner around her neck, will continue to be an amazing role model and leader for years to come. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the salutatorian of the class of 2017, Abigail Hellman.
I would like to start out by thanking all the parents, teachers, administrators, and friends here today. Without your support, this day would not be possible. Those of you that know me know that I am not comfortable speaking in front of large groups of people. This is why I decided to speak about a subject with which I am very comfortable: Harry Potter. More specifically, how I have found that everything we need to know about life can be learned from Harry Potter. Lesson number 1. Everyone needs to rebel once in a while. I struggle with this one. In the wizarding world, the most well-known rebels were Fred and George Weasley. Many times, they struggled with the authority of school, their mother's expectations, and, of course, taking life seriously. I am sure many of you can relate to those feelings. And also, their senior prank had fireworks. But seriously, we will all be faced with times when we can take the easy path and conform, or we can do what we know is right. It is okay to stand up for what you believe in, even if it is not easy, and you have to take a risk in order to make a change. Sometimes, you may even need to go against your friends. This may seem frightening, but as Albus Dumbledore said, it takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to our enemies, but even more to stand up to your friends. Lesson number 2. Lean on your friends in times of trouble and do not be afraid to ask for help. In life, as in Harry Potter, we would not be able to accomplish and achieve everything we want without the help of our friends. For example, I have no idea how my best friend could become so jacked if he did not have my moral support. Harry Potter had the smart, talented, and gorgeous best friend of Hermione Granger, like James has me. We all do not share the same talents, so it is important that we recognize our weaknesses and ask for help from those around us. Once again, wise old Dumbledore said, "Help will always be given to those who ask for it." It can be difficult to put your pride aside sometimes and admit when you need help, but without help, none of us would have gotten to where we are today. Lesson number 3. Life is not easy, or pretty, or a guarantee. In the world of Harry Potter, George Weasley lost an ear. Hermione had to wipe her parents' memories to keep them alive. And there were more deaths at the end than a Shakespearean tragedy. Nevertheless, we have to remember there was a boy, an orphan boy, who lived under the stairs, never dreaming of a wizard in life, who became the boy who lived, the chosen one, and the one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord. We all want life to be easy. I know that personally, I like to have a plan for what I am doing. I like to know what is going to happen and what I should expect. However, it is not possible to plan every detail of your life. Change constantly happens, and sometimes things do not go the way we want them to. There is so much unhappiness in the world that it would be easy to only focus on the bad and forget how much good there is in our life. However, we need to remember, as Dumbledore says, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. And that takes us to the final lesson that I want to share with all of you. The greatest ideas can have small beginnings. J.K. Rowling started her ideas for Harry Potter on a paper napkin. Those ideas then grew to span 7 books and 8 major motion pictures. No matter how small an idea is, there is no limit to how great it can become. The same goes for people. As Harry said, every great wizard started out as no more than what we are now, students. Although we do not have wizards in this world, we are students who can become great actors, musicians, engineers, business executives, or whatever we set our minds to become. Thank you and congratulations to my fellow graduates of the class of 2017.
Thank you, Abby. At this time, members of the high school faculty, under the direction of Mr. Chris Lincoln, will now sing My Wish by Rascal Flatts.
It means the most to you, and if one door opens to another door closed, I help you keep on walking till you find the window. If it's cold outside, show the world the warmth of your smile. More than anything, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want to dream. Dreams stay big, your rivers stay small. You never have to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants to say things to you. Yeah, this is my way. I hope you never look back, but you never forget all the ones who love you in the place you live. I hope you always forgive and you never regret, and you help somebody every chance you get. Oh, you find God's grace in every mistake. You can always give more than you take, more than anything, yeah, more than anything. My wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want to. Your dreams stay big, you always stay small. You never have to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants to say things to you. Yeah, it's my wish for you.
am truly honored that Ashna asked me to introduce her today. I am also honored to share this moment with two other women that I deeply admire and respect, Mrs. Rebecca Violi and Miss Abigail Hellman. Congratulations, Abby. A couple of months ago, Ashna came into my classroom and said, "Will you introduce me at graduation?" I have to admit that I hesitated for a moment. Speaking in front of large groups is always nerve-wracking. But then I thought, it's not like my face is going to be on a giant jumbotron. And I certainly won't be expected to sing. So I surprised myself by agreeing to do it. Apparently, Ashna was not surprised because she said, "That's good, because I already told the main office you would." Was that presumptuous? Perhaps. But I'm guilty of doing the same thing with Ashna. In the International Baccalaureate program, an overall score of 7 is exceptionally rare. In 12 years of teaching IB classes, in spite of having many talented students, I had never had a student achieve the top score. It was last year at this time that I predicted that Ashna would be the first because of her tremendous talent and determination. Many of the teachers here can attest to this, as I boldly announced this prediction many times. After the scores were released and I saw Ashna, she exclaimed, "I got a 7. And all I could think was, "That's good, because I already told everyone you would." When Ashna asked me to do this, I knew I would have to speak about relationships. Ashna and I built a relationship in which we understood that the other person was going to give it their all. Whenever there was a paper due, I could expect to see a frantically scribbled note at the top that says, "Help, I need to cut 1,000 words from this." And in return, Ashna could expect from me that I would read that paper 10 times if I had to help her get it to the required length. Greatness is bringing out the best in others, and I will be forever grateful to Ashna and her fellow diploma students. They have pushed me to do things I didn't think I was capable of. Really, Mr. Lincoln? You had to have the idea for a jumbotron this year? I also never realized how important compassion and affection were in relationships. I spent the first 10 years of my career worried about teaching content. Then I realized that students are probably not going to remember what I teach them. In fact, I have no doubt I would look quite foolish if I asked any of my students sitting here to state a fact I taught them just 3 weeks ago. But I hope they will remember that I cared about them. So it is my wish for you all that you strive for relationships built on trust and compassion. Pay close attention to how you make people feel, because that is what they will remember about you. What will people remember about Ashna? People will remember Ashna's kindness, her beautiful soul, and her passion for helping others. She has been a learn-to-lead mentor, a link crew leader, and has spent countless hours tutoring. These roles require a person to be compassionate, caring, and willing to devote themselves to bettering those around them. People will remember Ashna's incredible talent in music and dance. She has been a member of the Choir Pitches, a select vocal group and women's choir. She has been a NISMA solo vocalist and attended area All-State for voice. She has captivated audiences with her roles in musicals and even choreographed numbers as dance captain. She has been competitively dancing at Tap to Toe Studio for 12 years. I will never forget the first time I saw Ashna dance. Her beauty and grace took my breath away. People will remember Ashna's natural ability to lead. She has been president of Women's Chorus, president of Drama Club, vice president of National Honor Society, secretary of Interact Club, treasurer in Spanish Club, and vice president of Spanish National Honor Society. People will remember that she was an academic powerhouse, finishing her high school career with an incredible 98.38 GPA. Personally, I will always remember that Ashna had a warm smile and her trademark little wave for you when she passed you in the hall. Ashna has been accepted into the 8-year Albany Medical College program. Jointly sponsored by Siena College and Albany Medical College, the program places special emphasis on combining humanities, ethics, and social service with medicine. Students accepted into this program earn a Bachelor of Arts from Siena and are then guaranteed a spot at Albany Medical College. Only 3% of applicants are ultimately accepted into this program. Ashna discovered her passion, helping children, when she was a counselor at Hindu Heritage Summer Camp. She plans to fulfill her dreams of working with children in a career as a child psychiatrist or pediatrician. I could not be more proud to now welcome to the podium your class of 2017 Valedictorian, Ashna Gupta.
Good afternoon, administrators, distinguished faculty, parents, family, friends, and fellow graduates. I am honored to stand here today to celebrate the accomplishments of our class. First of all, to everyone who asked me for a shout out, I'm sorry I didn't include your Twitter or Instagram usernames in my speech. On the bright side, you can finally friend all of your teachers on Facebook after today. I feel like I should introduce myself to some of you. In high school, we all found apartments that we called our homes and people who shared our passions. For those of you who have never met me, hello, I'm Ashna Gupta, your valedictorian. As crazy as that sounds, I want you to know that I wish that I could have met all of you. I am humbled to be here today in front of you. Now for me, success came from an endless stream of homework, some sleepless nights, and frequent trips to Tim Hortons to keep me from falling asleep during my first period IB calculus class. I know for you, success was found in athletics, the arts, and other school organizations. I may not have known you personally, but I know this. The class of 2017 has shown success, and we will continue to succeed as we grow. From using our voices at Massena sporting events to starting a water balloon fight in the courtyard, we have had our share of glory. For many of us today, success is defined as watching an entire season of our favorite Netflix show in a day, or having 1,000 followers on Instagram. Tomorrow, our goals may be upgraded to more noble causes, like contributing to our communities and living life with integrity. Again, I am truly honored to be the valedictorian of the class of 2017. However, I can assure you that awards and recognitions will have little bearing on my personal happiness and my sense of purpose in life. That comes from staying involved in the lives of the people that I love, and while doing things that I find personally gratifying. This sense of fulfillment comes from reaching your own personal goals, from being kind to others during a time when our world may not show us that kindness back. People will forget about your plaques and your stoles and your trophies, but they won't forget your kindness. If high school has taught me anything, it's that everybody has a story. We have walked by the same familiar faces for 4 years, but we don't always know their stories. We often don't realize where we have bonding points because people hide the stories that need to be heard the most. Let's be honest, we are all tempted to conceal our stories. Today, class of 2017, I would like to share with you a story very personal to me, and I know to you all too. On May 19th, 2015, we lost a classmate, teammate, brother, student, and a friend. When we lost Matt, I remember receiving a forwarded text message telling me to wear purple clothing to honor him. A few hours later, I saw an Instagram post urging me to wear red for fallen Raiders. Soon enough, one last message told me to wear black. The following day, I anxiously walked into school and was surprised to see students, teachers, and faculty wearing clothing of all different colors. To me, this represented the true nature of our class. It did not matter what colors we wore, because we were there for one another in memory of Matt. Through this defining moment, we have come to realize how truly important we are to each other. 4 years ago, we entered high school from our diverse backgrounds wearing different colors. Today, we will leave with our diverse colors unifying us as one family. Do not be afraid to let your colors shine and be proud of who you have become. After high school, we will be tempted to dismiss nameless faces who carry stories just like ours, but let's not. If we can take anything from our shared story, it's that we need to take the time to be kind to each other. We may face days when the work seems impossible, when our problems are too numerous to count, and when our losses seem to thwart our gains. On those days, we must remember all of the times we have conquered and prevailed. I have one more story for you that I think you'll like. I recently performed a dance to a spoken word poem by Shane Poison, where he tells his story of childhood bullying. His message was that our lives will continue to be a balancing act that has less to do with pain and more to do with beauty. At the end of the poem, there was one statement that stuck with me. He said, "We are graduating members of the class of We Made It." Your ability to persevere through the personal struggles that you face shapes you into a stronger person. It's about discovering that you can endure hardships in the journey that you go through along the way. I want to thank you for listening to me today as our time in the Massena school system comes to an end. As we strive for success, or more importantly, happiness, I challenge you to cherish the moments we have had together. On behalf of the class of 2017, I would like to thank everyone who has believed in us when we could no longer believe in ourselves. To my fellow graduates, it is time to take the future into our hands and make it our own. I hope that 20 years down the road, you will look back and smile at the memories we all share. Congratulations on your achievements, and I wish you the best of luck in the next chapter of your lives. We are all truly graduating members of the class of We Made It.
There were too many people anyways for that shot, so cut. Barley Mania has arrived here at the Massena Public Library with the release of Barley Lee Murray and Gail Diedrich's book, Barley, A Possum's Own Story. Sounds quite interesting if I was a possum, or maybe a dog. Actually dogs may like reading these books about possums, so they know each other. Okay, let's go to the interview here. This is basil?
Basil.
Basil,
Yep.
as in the herb?
And that is correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
She got her name because...
The H is silent. Herb.
She got her...
Yeah, it's recording now.
All right.
John Machad consulting with Les Brown Jr. on this current project.
So how's the project going, guys?
Not bad.
Yeah. John, how are you today, sir?
Speechless. I never expected Les Brown Jr. to be in Massena, New York.
Absolutely.
It's a small, small world. That's all I'm going to say.
Well,
the
wonders
connections
never cease. Isn't this great?
Yes.
It's good to see you again.
It's so good to see you.
Yeah.
John, offer Les a warm welcome to Messena.
How should I...
Just throw out your hand and welcome to Messena.
High five.
High five. There, we should have thought of that.
Yeah, that's good.
So can you tell me when this started, the Labor Day celebration in Massena?
I think it was 1981. A lot of these Labor Day parades and the Solidarity parades came as a result of the firing of the PACO workers. And we had a big parade in Washington, D.C., which I participated in 91 again. And it's a continuation, let everybody know we're still here. We've been kicked around, but the unions are still strong in this country, no matter what anybody says.
So did you start this whole shindig? Or
no,
was
it started by the UAW and the IBEW 2032, and all the unions around here have supported it, enjoy coming here, seeing a lot of the older members come to this, so it's great to see. But the main thing is to show the people that we're alive, we're well, and that what we've done for this country, creating the middle class, should not be forgotten.
And we're going to go in now for a quick tour of what's left of the church. And let's open the door and come in quickly. Anyone here? I guess no one's here. When I go in this entranceway, I think of the big event that happened back in 1890s. The bell rang to the church, and there was a big fire of the Massena Creamery, and it was at 11 a.m. service. And everyone out of this church, right in this entranceway, flew out of the church, including the minister, to put out the fire. We need more people filming. We need more people to do things for fun. That's what I call it, for fun. Don't be shy. Get on camera. Do some acting. Do some skits. Enjoy it. And if the trolls get you on YouTube, ignore them. Don't. Wearing Maniac, and this is the kilt wearing Maniac without his kilt though. Yeah. And I want to hope to do a video of him someday. What do you think?
Sure.
We got to schedule it. I'll wear the kilt though. We'll have fun with it hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do you wear the kilt? I'm just curious.
The kilt that I wear is actually the Irish heritage tartan. I looked up there's. Pretty much my family is.
Okay, Alex, can tell me, have you had anything funny ever happen here? Any ghosts?
I have a lot of ghosts here, believe me. I've had one ghost that talked to me, my name was Alex. And they wanted to know something, all they said was Alex.
What's your name?
Monique.
Monique. Yours?
I'm 71. Danielle Mason.
Hopefully I can hear you over the noise, the honking.
We've got 170 something honks at this point. We've only been out here for about an hour.
You're counting the honks?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. That's how you know your progress. No, but we've seen nothing but support. I think it's really appropriate that we're out in front of the town hall. So the mayor already came out and showed his appreciation. The chief of police came out. The chief of police came out as well, and that way they can hear the support from the community as well.
I guess you're not a master at sidewalk bowling. We'll try one more time. He's a prince at bowling in the alley, but I guess this is the first for Walter on a sidewalk going uphill. This time you'll get it. Split.
You know, you all know that Mr. Johnny of Johnny's Wacky World is... I think there's some people out there that don't realize that he's special.
Oh! That was like a kick in the ass.
Johnny, how are you still standing up after that?
I heard something crack when she did that.
I heard your...
on? Good morning. Oh, yeah. Hi. Hi.
This one goes out to Mr. Johnny Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
Johnny of Johnny's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
Wacky John.
Johnny's Wacky World. And
John's Wacky World. And Johnny Wacky World.
To Wacky John.
John's Wacky World.
Wacky John.
John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
And John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
Yeah.
Johnny Wacky World.
John Wacky's World is awesome.
John Wacky World.
Oh, I said it. John's Wacky John's World. Wacky John.
Johnny Wacky World's friend.
John's Wacky World.
Everybody wants John's Wacky World.
I'm Wacky John.
See, John's Wacky World is my hero.
John's Wacky World.
Oh, John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World. Thank you, John's Wacky World.
Wacky John and I.
Wacky John.
Wacky John's Wacky Wagon.
John's Wacky World. John's Wacky World.
Wacky John here.
John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World. John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
This is Johnny Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
Johnny's Wacky World.
Johnny Wacky World, man.
John Raniel here.
John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
Wacky John.
John's Wacky World.
Johnny Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky Whining World.
Johnny's Wacky World.
Wacky John.
Wacky John.
What are you getting Wacky John?
Lumps of coal.
John's World of Wackiness with his hat off.
Johnny Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
John's Wacky World.
John's Crazy World.
Hey John, I just got done filming one of my videos, and I wanted to give you a quick shout out. Saying congratulations.
My boss here. Hey, congratulations, Johnny.
Hey John, Lisa Moore here, and I am so proud of you.
John's Wacky World YouTube videos. Yay!
Hey everybody, Wacky John here in beautiful downtown Massena. Do you have any junk or dead people cluttering up your home? Don't wait another minute. Bring your scrap metal or freshly dead bodies to Wacky John's Junkyard and Mortuary. Hurry in today. I pay top dollar for your beer cans, that rotten corpse you've been keeping in the basement. I also offer a fine line of antique jewelry, period clothing, and custom-made wigs and toupees and dentures. Planning a vacation? Why not consider spending a few days or weeks or months here at Wacky John's Mortuary? Kids love playing in my dump, and Mom and Dad will enjoy quality time alone in the creepiest morgue on the East Coast. At my all-you-can-eat buffet, you'll be treated to an exotic assortment of barbecued meats that just melt in your mouth. So, come explore a wacky world of fun with me, your friendly neighborhood junk man and undertaker, Wacky John. It was at this